Okay, I'm actually going to borrow from the next debate. It's a question that came in from the Barnstable Village Civic Association, but it has some applicability for Cotuit as well as a smaller village. Do you believe the village concept has any relevance in the allocation of town resources? And if so, how do you believe financial resources should be allocated among the villages? And we'll start with Pete.
That's actually an excellent question. I'm an infrastructure guy, so having spent my entire career on large construction projects, I like to think that the fundamentals of the town in general are protected independent of how the budget is allocated. So basically, when we prioritize public safety, when we prioritize our roads and our education, we've protected basically our business, our economy, and our quality of life. Once those higher priorities are allocated on a budget-wide basis, how they distribute themselves across the individual villages are one of, I think, should be open and effective negotiation. Some people might be an advocate for consolidation. I'm an advocate for efficiency. I want to see the numbers. I want to see the data. I want to see if the allocation of resources could be more efficiently done in different ways. I personally think the village of Cotuit does an excellent job with the resources that it's allocated. We have excellent water and fire safety service. And in the business that I'm in the outsourcing business, you really have to question whether a disruptive type of solution to consolidate and change away from that environment can reap the cost savings that you traditionally need to have, which is 15 or 20% in order to implement a disruptive consolidation. So I think the allocation to our village is fine the way it is. I do think, though, at a micro level, there are plenty of things that we can do as a council to look into individual budget line items to drive more efficiency out of the budget.
Thank you. Jessica.
Well, could you just repeat the question, please?
I could. Do you believe the village concept has any relevance in the allocation of town resources? And if so, how do you believe financial resources should be allocated among the villages?
Well, I believe in individual identities for all the villages. I think that's what makes the town of Barnstable unique. I am not, at this point, in favor of consolidating and making and disbanding the villages. To that, being out in the hinterland and way out in the west there, I get concerned for the precinct, for my precinct, and I want to make sure that the services are divided equally, not only in my precinct, but in other areas of the town as well. I think that's been done effectively. I've seen the allocation of funds spread out fairly equitably, and that's changed because I don't think it was always that way. I've seen over the years, over my lifetime, perhaps Cotuit not getting their fair share of the pie. But also, I think there should be more communication within the districts. And let's face it, besides COM, grouping together Centerville, Osterville, and Marston's Mills, each one of these fire districts really is their own little business and works independently and relies on the town for their primary services, policing and whatnot. But I'd like to see some more communication within all the villages. I don't know how that can be achieved, whether it's a monthly meeting with the heads of the prudential committees of the fire districts so that everybody can be working towards getting what's best and what's fair share for their district. Thank you.
Thank you.